Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, A Little Bit of Everything with Erin. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Please give this video a big thumbs up before you leave. Share it if you want to. You know that always helps me out and I love it when you do. And if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications anytime I post new videos. You're thinking, Erin, this is 2 makeup videos in a row this week. I know, right? Crazy. But the mailman dropped off my Bloodlust palette and your girl had to review it for you. I also wanted to note that there will be some changes to my channel. Makeup is where I'm the happiest right now and what's making me the less stressed, the less anxiety ridden, the less depressed. So I will be adding a few more makeup tutorials during the week. I'll continue to add a craft video every week and maybe a cooking video once a month like I have been. So keep on the lookout for those, but I'm doing right now what makes me happy, and that's my makeup. Okay, so with this palette, I decided I would do 2 looks for you today. One that's very smoky and just high out there, not your everyday look, and then one that's a little more calm, more still in the purples and just everyday wear. So if you like these types of videos and you want to see how I did these 2 looks, continue watching. I'm going to prime my lids with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer, and that is in white. Blending eye brush from e.l.f. This is the bigger of the 2 brushes that they sell. When I first saw this palette, I thought that Dungeon was more of a gray tone, but applying it now, I can see that it has that nice deep purple in it, which I'm happy about because I was really upset when he opened the palette and I didn't see a dark purple shade in there. Were you underwhelmed when you saw the release of the palette? So I think we're just gonna pack this all over the whole crease and lid. And when I say pack, I'm literally taking the product and stamping it over and over so that I get the most pigment from that shade. I think with this eye, we're really gonna take it deep, dark, and grungy. Once I have it all applied where I want it, I'm going to take the brush with no extra product on it, just what is still remaining. And right on the edge, I'm just going to start buffing that out. I'm going to do small circles all the way around the edge. And this is just going to take that loose pigment that's on the edge and blur it so that you don't get that harsh line. Now on a Morphe 506, I'm going to pick up Blood Queen, which is another darker purple shade, and I'm just going to buff that right out on Dungeon, just to make a nice gradient between the 2. And I'm not trying to take that high, I'm just trying to make it blend so it looked like we blended the crud out of Dungeon. And then with the same brush, without cleaning it or picking up any of the product, I'm gonna pick up, I don't know if I want to pick up Deviant or Royal Pain. Let's go with Royal Pain. And again, I'm just gonna take that on the edge and buff out Blood Queen even more. Now I'm gonna take a Morphe M167, which is a nice flat-headed brush, and we're gonna pick up Executioner, and we're gonna place that all over the lid. I'm not using any setting spray. I'm just using a brush because I want to see how this applies with just the brush. Now again, in his video, I was a little saddened by this color because it just looked like a black sparkle, like big deal. But in person, this one it is black, but there is so much purple glitter in it that it actually makes up for it. And I love it, and it's applying beautifully for it being on a dry brush. I don't know how it's picking up on camera, so hopefully you can see it. I have no natural light right now because it is dark out, so I'm just using the studio lighting. And then I do want to take our brush that we had Dungeon on and just kind of buff a little bit of Executioner, just where it's looking a little harsh. Now I think we're going to take a little bit of Wet Jewel, which is a new formula by Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and we're just going to apply that in the inner corner just to add a little light and highlight there. And I think for a little drama, we'll put that under the brow bone as well. Alright, so you know, typically I do my makeup next and then I finish off my eyes, but because we're doing two different looks, I'm gonna finish this off now. So we're gonna remove the tape. So far so good. Now, you know, I like putting the deepest shade in my waterline. I'm not gonna put Executioner in there because there is so much glitter in there. You can take a black liner instead. So in this case, I'm just gonna go ahead and take Dungeon and add it in there. Then we're also gonna take Dungeon and just swipe that under the lash line. Then we'll take Blood Queen and buff that out. And finally, a little Royal Pain. And then just to make sure everything is clean and looking nice, I like to take a nice big fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M505. And I just go ahead and bring that right up to the eye and buff it all. I do want to note that there is a lot of fallout from Executioner on my face here. You can see the black and you can see all of the purple sparkle, and it's down into the crease of my nose as well. This is the main reason that I do my face makeup after I do my eyes, so that I don't have this issue where I have all this cleanup to do. I can go ahead and clean it up and then put foundation and concealer on without having to deal with that. All right, let's go on to eye number 2, and let's go for something a little different. So for this eye, I think we're gonna start off with Vivid Mood. And we're gonna place that in the crease. This is kind of a pastel-y purple. And again, I'm just picking up the pigment and doing stamping motions to just pack that pigment color in there so I get the most payoff. And then just like before, we will just buff that edge with the same brush with no extra product on it, just to clean it up and blur it out. And I like to look straight ahead and see if I can see all the color, because I do have a bit of a hooded eye. Sometimes you can't see that color, especially on this eye, so I need to bring that up a little more. And then with a clean Morphe M506, we are gonna pick up Deviant this time, and then just buff that out. And then just to finish that off, we're gonna hit Your Majesty, which is more of like a bone white, and bring that right up under the brow bone. We're just gonna use that same brush. And then if you feel like you lost any color, just pick it back up and blend it back in where it goes. And then I like to make my corners nice and dark for a nice smoky look. So we're gonna pick up Blood Queen with a flat-headed brush. Those are my favorites. This one doesn't have a name. It's from Morphe. It's the Jaclyn Hill Holiday Collection one. And then we're just gonna tap that in the corner in like a V shape, and a little bit into the crease, and just blur it out. And that just helps give a nice smoky effect. And I want to take Beauty Sleep. We're just going to kind of apply that to the lid a little bit so that we can put the new formula on top of it and it just kind of has something to stick to. And I wanted to see what it looked like on the eye. It's actually a pretty shade. You could definitely use that as an inner corner highlight. It's got some reflex of gold in it, which is great because I was kind of mad that this palette didn't have a gold in it. So that's really pretty. We're gonna pick up some Pink Magic and just apply that on that edge between the Blood Queen and Beauty Sleep, just so it has like a nice fade into the two. So I changed my mind and I want to keep it like that. I think it's really pretty. So again, we'll take the deepest shade, which in this case was Blood Queen. So I've gone ahead and put Blood Queen in my waterline. I'm also going to apply that right under my lash line. Then we're going to take Vivid Mood. And then a little bit of Deviant. We're going to take our big fluffy brush and just blend that out. She's cute. She's a nice mellow look. I like it. Still mad about this mess. I was thinking about using this as a liner, but I think with this eye it'll match too much, and I think it'll kind of take away from the smokiness that we're doing on this eye. I don't think we're gonna apply a liner at all to this one, but we'll probably add a black liner to this. If I had one of his lip liners in like the turquoise or that mermaid or the Huntington Beach color, I would definitely add that to this to just have another nice pop of color added to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my face and then we will finish this look. Okay, so I did want to note that I was applying my mascara and I noticed that the sparkle in Executioner pretty much went away. There's still some there, but it's pretty much gone at this point. So I'm going to take a little bit on my finger and put that on, and excuse my lips, but I used a color from Jeffree Star, okay? Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of Executioner on my finger. You see, it's a really pretty color, so I want it to work. And I'm just gonna apply it now that I have it blended how I want. And just kind of pat it on my finger and pray it stays. So now I've just done that and my face makeup is done. And I have all kind of fallout on my face again from it. I don't know if you can see, but there is a lot of fallout right in here from this shade. Do you see that? So be careful with this shade. I'm gonna have to clean that up with concealer now that my face is done. So that's kind of annoying. I think just to finish it off, I am gonna take the Sincerely palette by Dear Katie Brown. And I'm going to choose one of these glitters and just kind of top it there because I have a feeling that all that glitter is still going to just fall off and be on my face and irritate me to no end. So there's that. And to take the glitter, I'm going to take this e.l.f. silicone brush. I love these brushes for picking up glitters. They are phenomenal. And I think I'm gonna pick up the color Hopelessly. You see how it just sticks to that silicone brush. Hi e.l.f., thanks for making this. And I'm just gonna kind of apply that to the lid. And now with that black underneath, it just makes this glitter kind of look like a galaxy on the lid. I'm just gonna let it fade out. So I think that's fun. I like that. Other than this, that's probably my biggest complaint. All right, I'm gonna add these lashes and we'll finish this off. All right, guys, so I kind of cleaned up that fallout. It would take me a little longer to just reapply everything, and I'm not going anywhere, so I'm not completely worried about it. But just dabbing it and brushing it isn't going to help. That pigment really did stick to my concealer, so as you can see, it's still kind of there even though I applied some more concealer. And here is our other look. It's more of an everyday look. Which eye do you prefer? Would you do either of these? Do you like both? Did you get the Bloodlust palette? Do you plan on getting the Bloodlust palette? Do you want to hear my thoughts on the Bloodlust palette? Let's get into it. And I know it'll get asked, so I'm just gonna answer it now. My lashes are Cherries on Top by Ice Cream Lashes. As always, use the code WILLOW in all caps to save 15%. I don't make a commission, I do earn free lashes. So, disclaimer. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of the Bloodlust palette. So, packaging. It is different. It is not your normal shaped palette. Does that bother me? At first, no, but at the end of the day, yes, just because I like to lay all my palettes together, and this one is going to be more of a pain and take up more space, and I'll have to technically flip it upside down because I can't lay it this way with the knob clasp that it has on the bottom. Everyone was saying, oh my god, it's so luxurious, it's velvet. Yes, I mean, it has that feel to it, but it's not like a velvet coat that you're gonna put on or anything. It's tight, it will likely get dirty. Not worried about it because even my regular palettes get dirty, so big deal. Into the color story. I won't lie, when I watched the video of Jeffree revealing this and he opened it, I was extremely disappointed. I wanted a lot of deep, dark purples. I wanted a purple palette. This is not a purple palette. If you're talking about doing a family of colored story palettes, we have Blood Sugar, which is mostly your reds. You have Blue Blood, which is mostly your blues. So when you think about Bloodlust coming out, you're also thinking you're going to get all these fun, deep purples that are missing from a lot of palettes. And he opened this up, and I got a lot of pinks, and a red, and a teal. I think the red and the teal were not needed. There are plenty of reds that this shade could be similar to in Blood Sugar. There are a couple of teals in Blue Blood. So if we're talking about these being a family and being palettes that can be used by themselves or together, the red and the teal are not necessary. Does the teal make sense? Absolutely. Teal and purple are very complementary. They look great together. The red and purple, it's okay. You can use it together, but it's not really necessary. I really wish there was a nice punch of gold in here because purple and gold are great. Plus the foil on the cap of the box is all outlined in gold. So gold would have made complete sense to put in this palette. I'm not Jeffree. He decided what he wanted to put in it, and of course we all bought it. But I bought it for two reasons. I bought it because I'm collecting the whole collection of the Blood Sugar family, and this is needed in it. The other reason I bought it is because Nikki Tutorials, from her PR package, she did two stunning eyes, and at that point, that is what really sold me to purchase this. And again, there are just some things that are unnecessary. Executioner is a gorgeous, gorgeous black purple duochrome glitter shade, but once applied and slightly buffed out, all of that glitter is gone and it's on your face. So there's a problem with that. I probably won't use it again because of all the cleanup that I have to do. Wet Jewel and Pink Magic are the two new formulas for those types of shades. They were great. They're beautiful. I love them. Sworn Enemy is like this greeny duochrome. I don't think it was necessary. I think that should have been a nice, beautiful gold. Again, I didn't make the palette. Can you do some great looks with this? Yes. Another note, Your Majesty is like this bony color. He has a white in all of his palettes, so again, I think it's unnecessary. All in all, I think it's a fun palette. It's a great palette. It's a different palette. If you're gonna buy something from Jeffree Star and you want to add purples into your life, you can definitely buy this palette. Do you need it? Not necessarily. A lot of the colors, you can find similar colors in other palettes. Again, if you are a big fan of Jeffree and you just want to collect, then go ahead and buy it. At the end of the day, it's your money. He's not telling you you have to buy it. And this is no tea, no shade, nothing against Jeffree, because everybody who watches my channel knows that I support and love his makeup, and hence why I wear it. But I will do more looks. I will do a few more ideas that I have running in my head, just staring at the palette to see what other kind of looks we can come up with this. If you want to see more looks based off of this palette, let me know. I will definitely make a couple of videos for that. If you're wondering what I'm wearing on my lip, it is Blow Pony. I got that in one of my mystery boxes recently, and then I topped it with I cannot read, I'm getting old. Soft Core Sparkle. And that was from one of the Valentine's mystery boxes. I don't know if it was the medium or the small one or the big one, because I got one of each. Alright guys, so that is how I feel. I really love this eye. This eye is stunning. This one is okay, but again, I needed to pick up my glitter palette from Dear Kitty Brown and the Sincerely palette to kind of give it that extra oomph that it was needing. Anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I'm rambling now at this point. Let me know your thoughts. Did you get Bloodlust? Are you happy with it? Do you plan on buying it? What colors do you want me to try from the palette? And let's see if we can make something beautiful. Alright guys, until next time, bye!